When I was in fifth grade, my dad coached my basketball team all the way to the CYO Division I championship. That's a moment I'll never forget. My friends and I still talk about it now 12 years later. We laugh because we were all so intense about the game and we were only 10 years old. But that's the kind of attitude we had on our team, and it all stemmed from my dad. Even now, when I bring up the game to him, we both smile because we share the memory and the joy of not only winning that day, but also playing that season. My dad is someone who I've always looked up to, no matter what age I am, because of his hardworking example he sets for my siblings and I, his ability to be a support system for my family, and his genuine value of putting his family first before himself. I don't think there's anyone I know in my life who's worked harder than my dad. He earned his bachelor's and master's degrees, and for the majority of my life was the sole income of our household. But I don't think my dad's hard work is measured by his accomplishments alone. His attitude is what I think marks his character and how he responds to adversity. This fall, my dad broke his foot. He didn't even think it was broken until my mom made him go to the doctor and found out that he needed surgery. He ended up not being able to put any weight on it for months and wasn't even able to drive himself around for a few weeks. I could see how frustrating this was for him, especially as his recovery period lengthened. However, he did not let it discourage him from doing the things that he wanted. My dad's work ethic is something that he has instilled in each of his kids. I don't think I've ever seen my dad back down from adversity. He's constantly thinking of ways to beat the odds if he sets his mind to something. Whenever I have a problem that I need help with, I know that I can look to him for guidance and that he will help me figure out a way to solve it. My dad's work ethic leads directly into his ability to be a support system for his entire family. Graduating from college has always been a priority for me and something that my parents instilled in me from a young age. Now, with that quickly approaching, I've had to focus on what comes next for me. My dad is someone I know I can ask for advice because he wants me to succeed. Sometimes there are days when he will call me and give me ideas for what I might want to do, and he's always encouraging me to explore the possibilities that my future might hold. From a young age, sports have always been a big part of my life, and I credit that to my dad. For a while, when I was really young, my dad ended up doubling as my coach, whether it was in basketball or soccer. And when I started playing lacrosse, I remember he went out and bought a men's stick just so he could learn to play catch with me in the backyard. In middle school, I had to have a conversation with my dad because he would cheer so loudly for me at games that I would begin to feel embarrassed. That's the kind of supporter he is, not only in sports, but in all aspects of my life. I hope that when I'm older with kids of my own, I can be a supportive parent like my dad has been to me. My dad doesn't hesitate when it comes to putting his family before himself. The little things that might not seem like a big deal are prime examples of the way my dad puts his family before himself, especially when it comes to my mom. After meeting a Catholic in the early 90s, they've been married for almost 25 years, and my dad is still thinking of my mom before himself. Whenever there's an occasion to get my mom a gift or something like that for a holiday, my dad puts so much thought into what he wants to get my mom and is always so thoughtful when he's around her. When my grandfather passed away this summer, everyone was extremely affected by the loss. It broke my heart to see my dad so distraught because he's such a rock for our family. However, even though my dad was struggling with his emotions, he was still able to be a rock for those who needed him the most. He spent many nights with my grandmother at her house and kept her company. He was able to take her to appointments and to deal with the logistics of losing his father. The way he has been able to put his family's needs before himself continues to inspire me today to think more selflessly. My dad's work ethic, constant support, and family values have set a fantastic example for me and my siblings to look up to. I hope that one day when I'm a parent, I can embody these values as well as he does. It always brings a smile to my face when I think about my fifth grade basketball championship. It's something that I'll always get to share with my dad and something that reminds me of why I admire him so much.